Welcome to Waywut. This is a rabbit hole podcast where we cover topics ranging from sports to true crime and pop culture to just weird facts. Really, it's just a couple of guys taking turns to present weird topics to each other. We publish episodes on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. You can watch us on YouTube and listen pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, just wherever. We're probably there. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Why, hello there. Today I, Jason, am leading the troops into battle as I bring us another topic that made me say, wait, what? Joining me is a man who I would always go to battle for or with, Darrell Holiday.
Oh, that's so gay. And I don't, and like Eminem, I don't mean that in the bad way. I mean like two guys fucking each other. I mean the good way. Two guys fucking each other. Have you heard that in his new song?
No.
He's like, dude, that's gay. Not in the good way, like two dudes fucking each other. I was like, hell yeah. He's growing up. He's really growing up.
Yeah. Oh, Eminem.
So this
is not
whole
the same as he was.
No, his whole new album is about, not being such an immature shit, even though he does a lot of immature shit in it. The whole thing's like the death of Slim Shady. It's him fighting himself. It's actually pretty cool to listen to.
Yeah. His albums usually have a theme of some sort.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, okay. All right. People or even yourself ask, if you could do it all over again, what would you do different? My answer is generally the standard response of not changing anything because of the fear of my life not being where it is at now.
Oh, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea.
However, if I could do one thing different and not change anything about where I'm at today, it would be to join a branch of the military right out of high school.
Wow.
Well, yeah. I've given this a lot of thought in my old man age. I mean, being where I am at now, knowing what I could have done in my, early 20s, right out of high school, that was wasted opportunity, I thought. Now, looking back on it, knowing I could still get to where I'm at today by doing that. Anyway, I believe this because the military instills self-discipline and creates lifelong habits. You get to
Who paid you?
Do what?
Did we get a sponsor and nobody told? Is the government paying you?
I came across something. I thought this would be a very good one to do since this is very close to Veterans Day.
I think you and I might end up coming across some of our first disagreements here.
I sure hope not. I really hope not. Let me get to the topic first, and you're not going to disagree what I'm talking about.
Okay. I was about to say, because it's just like, all right.
No. You get to travel the world with a brotherhood. One could not be so lucky. The sacrifices each and every one of our veterans make should never go unnoticed, especially that ultimate sacrifice. This is when I learned of the tomb of the unknown soldier and was completely taken back. This was my Waywut moment. Okay, you still want to disagree with me anywhere?
No, actually, that was one of my regrets when I was in D.C. In August. Is we were going to go see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, but kids were hot. We were all hot. We were exhausted. We just got through checking out all the monuments and stuff like that. We didn't even hit the Smithsonian, any of the Smithsonian museums. We were just so hot and exhausted and walking from, Washington Monument down. Well, actually, we didn't even just walk from the Washington Monument down there. We walked basically from the White House to the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial. And by the time we did that, it was like, in August heat in that freaking swamp. We were exhausted.
Saturated. You're ready to be done. I totally get it. But if I ever go to Washington, D.C., this is something I definitely want to see. The meaning of this, per the U.S. Department of Defense's webpage, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier serves as a symbolic grave located in Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia for all war dead whose remains have not been found or identified. Its meaning has evolved to represent the memory of all military members throughout American history. The west panel inscription reads, "Here rest in honor glory an American soldier known but to God." I thought that was a pretty powerful statement, pretty powerful inscription.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Mm-hmm. There were lots of other things that are around the tomb itself that all has different meanings that, if y'all are interested in, I would highly recommend looking into.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, we wanted to see it. I mean, Violet really wanted to see it. It's just we were just all like zapped because we were gonna have to go from where we were at then to go to Arlington National Cemetery, and then we already had to drive back to Baltimore, and we were just like,
Yeah,
no.
no, I get it. The brief story of this origin here. On March 4th, 1921, the U.S. Congress approved the burial of an unidentified American soldier from World War I. So on November 11th, 1921, the unknown soldier was brought back from France and was placed in the marble tomb. How the unknown soldier was laid to his final resting place is interesting. On Memorial Day in 1921, four unidentified soldiers were exhumed from four World War I American cemeteries in France. A soldier by the name of Edward F. Younger. This Edward F. Younger, he was a soldier who was previously wounded and was highly decorated for valor and received the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest military decoration for soldiers who display heroism in combat. Do you know the highest one?
We're gonna cut it right here because I pulled a Jason. I have my laptop plugged in up here, but I didn't plug it into the wall, so I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Do this. So yeah, we'll just have a quick little cut where it's like, "Do you know this?" And I'll be like, "No." So,
Okay.
so I, all right. Let's see. One, two. No, I do not know.
The Medal of Honor is the highest.
Ah,
Anyway,
oh yeah. The
yeah. Edward F. Younger, he selected the unknown soldier from these four identical caskets by laying a spray of white roses on the second casket from the right. So he just randomly chose a casket, and that's the one he chose. The white roses have a much deeper meaning that is worth looking up as well, if you so choose. The other three were interned in a cemetery in France. As of today, the unknown soldier from World War I, World War II, and Korean War unidentified service members lie in two crypts in front of the tomb, and an empty third crypt represents the missing service members from Vietnam. And another interesting fact is the reason the one from Vietnam is empty is the chosen soldier was eventually identified. He was identified as Michael Blassie and was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. Thought that was pretty interesting. That they actually identified an unidentified soldier.
they could probably do that with lots of them nowadays with the whole genetic
The
genealogy
DNA and
thing.
genetics, yeah. There are over 4,000 other unknown soldiers buried at Arlington National Cemetery from the Civil War through the 20th century. Millions of people visit the tomb every year, whether to honor military service and sacrifice, mourn a loved one, or other time honored traditions. One such tradition is the wreath laying ceremony. Usually, the President of the United States lays a wreath on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. If you ever seen this, it's a very somber and powerful moment.
This is getting too somber and powerful at the moment, so I'm going to break things up a bit. Have
All
you
right.
ever been to a funeral at any of the national cemeteries?
No. I think
All
it would
right.
stand out if I did.
So we got that one over in Grand Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've went to a funeral there. And if you look, it's always those simple stones, and they're all
Yep.
lined up
White
in neat
crosses.
little row. Well, no, it's a stone, but on each one, based on the religion that they said that they had or whatever, there could be a cross on it if they're Jewish, Star of David, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So to lighten things up a bit, so whenever one is enlisting into the military, you sit there and, they're going to ask you your religion, whether you're Islamic or, Christian, whatever, or atheist. Some people
What's their symbol?
as well as they'll say satanic too, because you can be satanic and be in there. But you could one religion that's also recognized by the military, Jedi.
That's a religion.
Technically, yeah, even in the movies. So
okay, what's a belief system? Like, you don't necessarily have to have the powers. Yeah, okay.
There's an actual symbol, So like if they're already dead soldiers with Jedi as their religion, it'll have the Jedi symbol on their grave.
I don't think they chose that because they believe in the Jedi religion. They just want to look cool as shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I can see the Jedi. I mean, they live by code. It's a belief system. Just like if you're a Christian, it's a code. It's a system you believe in.
Yeah. So they got like 66 different symbols for different
that can be used for religious purposes on a tomb.
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite a lot.
Yeah. So there's a ton. Yeah. I knew there's a bunch. Anyway, so now that I put some levity in here, you can go back to being a bummer.
Well, to bring it back down, when we were picking out my dad's tomb, they were putting, or not tomb, but headstone. They allowed us to choose different things, and we put a fish. We put a bass.
Oh, yeah, that made sense though. I mean, that's what he liked doing. It was either that or a golf ball.
Yeah, no, the bass looked way better.
Or a can of beer.
No, I just put one of those on the headstone every once in a while. All right. Guarding the tomb. Unfortunately, through the history of time, people are disrespectful and, for a lack of a better term, assholes. So soldiers were first assigned guard duty of the tomb in 1926 to discourage visitors from climbing or stepping on it. In 1937, the guards became a 24/7 mainstay. It has not been unguarded since. And I quote, "Snow, sleet, heat, wind, and rain, they never give up the guard. They are equipped with a rifle and bayonet, as well as up to regulation sidearm, dressed in their dress blues made of wool, minus the rank, regardless of what it is. They never want to outrank the unknown soldiers they are guarding." I thought that was pretty awesome. Go ahead.
That was one of the reasons why we wanted to go see it, was, because, the fact that they keep that thing constantly guarded and stuff.
Oh, it's the selflessness of it is unbelievable. The more I read about it and the videos I watched, I was really moved. I saw some people give them slack from the sunglasses that they have to wear, but the reason that they have to wear them is the glare from the concrete, the marble that they're on. It's great. It's kind of like snow, so they have to wear the sunglasses. It's not just to make them look badass, because they do look badass, but it is actual for protection.
I just looked, and everything I said earlier was a lie. I was wrong. They don't do the Jedi symbols. They will do Wiccan and stuff like that, but Jedi, you can put whatever religion you want on your dog tags, but it's not recognized where they give it a symbol, which I object to. I think if soldiers want a lightsaber on their
they could put whatever they want on there. If they're in the ground with the ultimate sacrifice, they could put whatever the hell they want on there.
He's a flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. All right, the guards are soldiers of the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry Regiment, or the Old Guard. Fewer than 20% of all volunteers are accepted for training, and of those, only a very small portion pass the training to become tomb guards. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier Guard Identification Badge is the 3rd least awarded qualification badge, behind the Military Horseman ID badges and astronaut badges. Once receiving this badge, you become a Sentinel. That's really very rare. So, what is this training, you ask? Well, it's very rigorous and very meticulous. They test over everything from uniform prep, the walk sequence, and have to memorize. This is where it gets kind of confusing. I read it's either 17 pages, 30 pages, 35 pages. Regardless, it's a pages and pages of information in regards to the cemetery and write it out, including punctuations. You can't make more than 10 mistakes. The walk sequence is very detailed and precision is expected and demanded. Uh, Here's the walk sequence. I'm going to go over it real quickly. You march 21 steps south down the 63-foot long black mat. Then you turn and face east toward the tomb for another 21 seconds. You turn and face north, change weapon to the outside shoulder so that weapon is always in between you, the tomb, and the people. So you got the people, the weapon, you, the tomb. Mm-hmm. And wait another 21 seconds. March 21 steps up the mat, turn and face east for another 21 seconds. Turn and face south, change weapon to the other shoulder, and wait again for another 21 seconds. You repeat this routine until the soldier is relieved of duty at the changing of the guard. Now, 21 was chosen because it symbolizes the highest military honor of the 21 gun salute. And don't even think about walking too close to the tomb or getting beyond where the public is supposed to be. They will get your ass. Do not mess with them. I've seen the videos. It's, yeah.
But people actually think that,
people like, I'm going to go jump over this little rope here that they say I can't go so I could get a cool selfie. No. They will charge their weapon and tell you, move. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Now, this is the cool part. This is what I want to see. The changing of the guard. This tradition is incredible to see. The precision, each movement counts. They are almost like robots. They are so precise in their movements. The marble cement that they walk back and forth from has a path worn out. The black mat, for the same reason they walk on, has to be changed twice a year, and it's usually changed before the big ceremonies on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. When Arlington Cemetery or Arlington National Cemetery is open, depending on the time of the year, the guard is changed every half hour or every hour. In the summer, it's changed every half hour, and in the winter, it's changed every hour. So after the cemetery closes to the public, the guard is changed every 2 hours. This ceremony can be witnessed by the public whenever Arlington National Cemetery is open. If you do get the honor to witness this, you must be silent. They demand silence from the crowd, and they will not hesitate to tell you to politely shut the fuck up. I've seen the videos. It's awesome. They will stop everything down. They will address the crowd and tell you, shut up. It's great. It's great. The guard change is very symbolic, but also done in regard to Army regulations. It takes minutes to perform, but months to perfect. The relief commander or assistant relief commander, along with the incoming guard, are both required for a guard change to take place. The relief commander orders the outgoing guard to pass on your orders to the incoming guard. The outgoing guard will say to the incoming guard, "Post and orders remain as directed." The incoming guard's response is always, "Orders acknowledged." During changes when the public is witnessing the ceremony, the commander will inform the public that the ceremony is about to take place and that those in attendance should remain silent and standing throughout the entire event. Do not get caught sitting. Once again, seeing the videos. Yes, they will tell you, do not sit during the ceremony. I mean, it's serious stuff. It's awesome. They take it seriously, their honor, their dedication to it. It's really quite remarkable.
Yeah, I'm not good at ceremony stuff like that. Like like I don't know. I'll take off my hat for the national anthem.
Mm-hmm. As you should.
And I'll stand.
As you
But that's
should.
about it. I'm not putting my hand over my heart, nothing like that. I'll just kind of, I'm just waiting. I don't look. I get it, but I mean, look, if you hadn't figured this out about me right now, I'm a Texan before I'm an American. It's just how things go.
I'm a little both today. I got my Texan going on here, and I got my American sort of flag going on right here.
Now, I'm sitting there talking about I'm Texan, but I'm wearing my Tombstone, Arizona shirt. So, go
Hey,
figure.
well, hey, it's Tombstone.
And then my Johns Hopkins hat for, and that's Maryland. So, I'm not representing shit.
Yeah. Their dedication, as I briefly mentioned, it's a huge honor to become one of these Sentinels. The dedication to become one does not end after testing and receiving your badge. It's a lifelong dedication, as this is the only award that can be taken back for acting in a way unbecoming of a Sentinel. So if you're awarded it, and then 10 years later, when you're not even in the military anymore, you decide to act like a jackass, they're going to take it away from you.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, see,
They
yeah,
take
you
this
decided to record a
serious.
YouTube video of sitting there like, ranting and saying words you shouldn't.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, they'll
gone.
take it back. So this is one of the highest honors you can get, and they're very, very serious about it. Your uniform must be impeccable, no flaws, everything shiny and clean. It can take up to 12 hours to prepare your uniform for duty. Even the Sentinels that are seasoned take 5 to 6 hours to prepare their uniform. And when I say prepare, I'm not just saying go throw it in the washing machine and take it out and iron it. Oh no. They come out with the scissors, the needle and thread. They even get the lighter out to burn any loose threads that may be sticking out of the lapel or their little wards they have. It's meticulous. Very meticulous.
I wonder if they find OCD people to do this.
I don't know. They're volunteers. That's another thing is they volunteer, and then they have to, of course, pass all the rigorous tests that they do. It's 24/7. Like I said before, 24/7. Nothing prevents them from guarding. Not bad weather, terror threats. There is no excuse, and never will be.
What if there's a hurricane?
They actually have stuff in place, and when there was a hurricane coming through, I don't remember the year. I was saying the early 2000s. They were saying that you can abandon your post for the most part, for the lack of a better terms, and they were like, "No, we're not. We don't care. We're going to stay," and they did. So they have plans in place for like lightning and natural disasters, but for the most part, they will not leave. They have 3 uniforms. They have one they're wearing, one they're preparing, and a rain uniform.
Jesus.
Yeah, very dedicated.
It's too much. I mean, I get it. It's a they're honoring, that stuff.
They take it very seriously. I mean, you should watch the videos when they do the changing of the guard. It is super cool.
I've seen other changings of the guard, and I mean, it's always super formal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them do it at the Royal Palace in Monaco.
Yeah.
Had one of their guards yell at me.
Yes, I saw a lot of their videos. They think they're tourist attractions. People come and think they're just there for tourists. But they're active duty. They're active duty.
I get that. But we're outside the palace, the King's Palace in Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
Dude takes a selfie with 2 chicks. It lets them come over and take a selfie with him. Mm-hmm. And then me and my wife come over like, hey, can we get a picture with you? And he's like, yes. And we take a step forward. He's like, no, you stay there. He straightens up his uniform, gets him, holds his chin up, has his gun. It's like, okay. All right, thanks. We took a picture of him.
Wasn't his first time.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like, if I'm like a chick in my 20s, be like, oh yeah, come over here and take a selfie with me. But since I'm a middle-aged man, he's like, bitch, you stay the hell over there. Now you can take my picture. Bask in my glory.
No, I've seen a lot of the videos too where the Royal Guard or the Queen's Guard, whatever you may call it, people think when they come to England that they're there for a novelty. Oh, look at them! Look at their
No,
fuzzy
they actually
hats.
have a
They're
job.
funny.
They are guards.
Yeah, and they will fuck you up too. The way they yell at people, get out of the way, as they're marching, and people are like trying to march behind them, and they'll stop and charge their weapon at them too. It's great.
I don't mess with that. It's kind of like when I was in the White House. Don't mess with the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Even though
Well,
it's like kind of funny, you got the Secret Service on the outside. It's in tack gear, so they got like the vests, guns, all this other shit, and they're the ones that are making sure they check your ID like 3 times before you can get in the White House, and then whenever you get in there, it's all the Secret Service people in suits, and they're like, oh yeah, no, I can tell you about this room and these paintings and all this. It's like what, so y'all are all Secret Service. Yeah. Did you want to do that? And they're like, no, it's the air conditioning's in here. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool.
well, back to the Royal Guard and their hats, their fuzzy hats. Do you know why they're fuzzy and they're tall like that?
No.
I don't either. If
Oh God,
anybody's
I thought you
listening,
were gonna.
I don't know. I was just thinking, you know what? That's a good question. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, please leave in the comments below.
We can Google it.
We could, or somebody
I'm
could
gonna
tell
Google
us.
it. I'm gonna Google it. I'm not gonna wait for people to comment.
Oh, come on.
And our
There has
commenters
to be
aren't
a
always.
reason why.
Our commenters are not always right. They are lovely and beautiful, and I love them all. But not everything they say is absolutely correct. Let's see. British Royal Guards. What is the deal with the bear skin? It's called a bear
Why's it
skin.
got to be 4 foot tall off their head?
Why is it so tall?
That thing I did notice is it covers their eyes really well. Like you can barely see their face.
Hat's so tall. There we go. It is so tall to make the soldiers appear taller and more intimidating. Seriously? Maybe that worked in like the medieval times. I see a big
furry hat.
It's like, okay, no, it's like headshot. You line up there, go down. It's just line up, go down. All right, good. Headshot. Now, British government, I doesn't mean I'm planning on doing anything like that. I'm just so please don't send in my 6 to anally probe me or cavity search or whatever.
That's the only reason you found out was for intimidation. Wow, that's
really
there's
disappointing.
Be a better one out there. Yeah, there's got to be a better reason. Let's hear it. Let's hear
it. With it being like British, I wouldn't be surprised that whatever royalty person was like, I'm bored. What do we do? What do we do? Hey, let's make the gods wear silly hats. Oh, yes. All right, we decree that you must wear these bearskin hats. They're called bearskins. Isn't that masculine and tough? And look how intimidating you are. Now go. Look at all those fluffy-headed bastards.
Pip.
Pip, pip. I'm going to have my tea and watch these little Q-tips run around.
That's pretty funny. This probably has lots of truth to it, actually.
Yeah. It's the only thing I can think of.
All right. Before I get to the end, I had another kind of cool thing about the changing of the guard. When they do the changing of the guard, they actually kind of match you up with somebody of similar height. So as you're changing out, you're walking with somebody who's the same height as you, basically. So it just interchanges. So they try to keep the height.
All of them are the same height?
They try to keep the height requirement. I don't know how good they do it now, but what I read is they try to keep it anywhere between 5'8" and 6'2", right in that general area.
That's a good spread. That's a good spread. Okay, I thought it was going to be like one of those things, like single bitches on Tinder must be 6 feet tall. But you're 5'9". Ugh. No, you got to be 6 feet and be like, you 200 pounds. You need to be way lighter. Anyway,
I did see that they have a weight requirement. You can't be a large person doing this.
What?
You can't be. You have to look good in uniform. You have to look sharp. I'm not saying you won't look good in your uniform.
There goes my dream. I always wanted it to be a Sentinel guard thing, but you know what? Not happening. I'm not losing weight for it. It's not happening.
Well, they do take women now as well. That there's been women Sentinel guards.
I could
Which is
see that.
different.
I'm glad they finally did that one. I mean, that's one of those things where it wouldn't make sense if they didn't allow that.
No,
That's
I mean,
like, all
they're
right, come on, don't be
qualified.
stupid.
If
Yeah,
they could pass all the same tests and
yeah.
do all the same stuff, it doesn't
It'd
require any
be
kind of physical stuff.
Yeah, no,
Only thing
I
that
mean,
requires physical is them actually standing to attention for the 30 minutes to an hour doing their
that's what
rounds.
soldiers do, and they've been
Right.
doing that
If
kind
they
of
don't
stuff
practice
for a
it,
long
yeah,
time.
I agree.
Yeah, no, that'd be a dumb one. I mean, there's not, there's not a lot that I would be all like, hey, I'm not sure if I want a lady doing that one. And honestly, as long as they don't have a peeing standing up division, I think other. Oh hell no, lots of ladies pee standing up. Never mind. Yeah, no, they can pretty much do it all. So yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they look just as
I mean,
badass as the guys do.
I think one thing that people always need to keep in mind, and if I end up needing to have to make an episode about this, the most deadly sniper in the world was a woman. Yeah, World War II. There's a Russian woman. She was all badass. So,
that's a good little prelude to a topic, a little foreshadowing. All right. Well, I like to finish by reading their Sentinel's Creed. My dedication to this sacred duty is total and wholehearted. In the responsibility bestowed on me, never will I falter. And with dignity and perseverance, my standard will remain perfection. Through the years of diligence and praise, and the discomfort of the elements, I will walk my tour in humble reverence to the best of my ability. It is he who commands the respect I protect, his bravery that made us so proud. Surrounded by well-meaning crowds by day, alone in the thoughtful peace of night, this soldier will be honored, glory rest under my eternal vigilance. I thought that was a really nice way to end this.
And I'm going to ruin it. So going back to the very beginning, you're like, if you could go back, do something different, you'd have joined the military. Absolutely not. That is way too much structure. I like whenever you hear nice things like this, where people are like, hey, we say all this nice thing together, and you're like, yeah, this is nice. And me, I'm like, this sounds like brainwashing, and I just resist it automatically. It's just like they're like, hey, let's all chant together and hold hands. No, I automatically resist that shit. I'm like, no, you're trying to corrupt me. You probably would have done well in the military. Back then, you were in really solid shape. Your wrestling career probably would have lasted longer if you'd had military training.
Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely. I would have not been in the shape I am right now. I'll tell you that.
Oh, and for those of you that don't know us, which is considerably more now, I'm like getting stunned. We keep talking to more and more people. Is
word of mouth, people. Word of mouth.
Yeah. Keep tell your friends. But yeah, Jason here used to be a wrestler, and not the kind that like dry hump each other in the Olympics.
Yeah,
I'm
not
talking
the singlet
about the
kind.
No, the kind that rub baby oil all over themselves and hug each other in the middle of rings while they do scripted lines and act.
And slam each other around and beat each other up. Yeah, that's part of it
that part too. But I mean, well, yeah. No, because like whenever you first started doing that, I had the opportunity. I took one bump, fell on the ground one time, and I was like, "Nope, I'm not doing this."
Yeah, it took a lot out of my body, and I would love to tell you all about it one day.
Yeah, if you'd have had military background, your muscles probably could have handled it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to start wrestling a lot earlier.
Yeah, we did. Right. Well, we didn't really have that option then. Oh,
no,
God,
we sure didn't.
God, was that like 2007?
2007 was my first match. Yeah.
Well, if any of y'all want to dig up my YouTube channel that's all by myself, you can go look there. Some of his matches are still on there.
They are. Well, that will do it for this episode. It has been an honor bringing this topic to you today. Join us next week as my brother from another mother brings us another topic that made us say, Waywut?
Ah, gosh. You're so lame. All right.
Sometimes I can be, yeah.
Bye.
I'll see y'all guys later.
Thank you for joining us for Waywut. We really appreciate you watching or listening. Please subscribe or follow us on your favorite platform to catch our latest episodes that we publish on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's rating us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, commenting on our videos or just a podcast episode, or following us and hitting us up on TikTok, Facebook, or X. You can find us there with our handle, Waywut Podcasts. That's WAYWUT Podcast. And that will do it for this episode. Join us next time, and we'll make you say, Waywut.